It's time to Trust Us. Presented by Dustin DeHart at Nova Home Loans. Call him today at 577-2600.
All right, it is time to trust us on some fantasy football. I guess based on how we've been performing in leagues, maybe Adam's the only one who can be trusted. Bounce back, Dustin, or not?
3-0.
You did?
Yeah.
All right. Who was your big star?
Oh, who was my big star? All over the place.
Let's go to the
barely
game.
won
That means you got a lot of balance.
two leagues. The other league, yeah, it's just I'm 5-0 in that one. It's the one I don't really care about. You know what I mean? So squeaked by in the other two.
Of course, that's always the way it works. Yeah, I got freaking destroyed by Amari Cooper and especially Christian McCaffrey. Just annihilated.
Had the first pick, took Barkley.
He's coming back. We're gonna get into that.
Why didn't take Christian McCaffrey? Who knows?
Well, Barkley's coming back. So here's the deal this week. This is the first week where you really need a bunch of replacements. Last week a bye with two teams. This week, Colts, Bears, Raiders, Bills. Quarterbacks who are out: Jacoby Brissett, Josh Allen, Derek Carr, Mitch Trubisky / Chase Daniels. So no one is going to break your team.
Yeah, no world beaters there.
No.
Right? Yeah.
If you're in a massive pinch because of injuries and then a bye, Delvin Hodges?
Ooh. I think I'd rather quit fantasy football.
Well,
and I don't know anything about him, but if I'm starting him, I think I'm done with fantasy football.
Can he do the same thing that Mason Rudolph was doing?
Yeah.
Dink dunk.
But I don't know what the fantasy value is on that. I mean, he hasn't really put up big fantasy numbers. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if it's the choice of him or no quarterback, then sure, plug him in.
Right.
But I don't think I'd put him over almost anyone else
But
in
like
the league.
Adam, quarterback usually on the waiver wire has the most available options, right?
Depending on leagues. I mean, I'm in a couple 14 team leagues. I'm in a 16 team league where there's not a starting quarterback.
Right.
So you almost have to draft. You have to put somebody in like a Taysom Hill, who has eligibility, who might get you a couple points here, and that's what you would have to do. But yeah, in a 12-team league, most teams are only going to have 2 quarterbacks at the most. So you're going to have at least 4 or 5 guys that each week are at least there to try to pick up.
I mean, my main league, I have Baker Mayfield, pretty much ready to cut him. Phillip Rivers. I mean, I'm looking at guys like Kirk Cousins, Mariota, Kyle Allen, Bridgewater, and I think they're better options right now. Am I wrong?
Pickups in the league. I'm in Kyle Allen, Minshew, Garoppolo, Flacco. Delvin Hodges is actually the 5th quarterback over Teddy Bridgewater.
I'd
projected.
love Minshew. He got picked up today for me.
All right, well, you mentioned Baker Mayfield, so we'll ask you first. Do you feel like Baker Mayfield is a bad beat for you, or did you just blow it and it's bad management?
Yeah, I think it's bad management. I really do, unless that he just looks lost. I mean, his accuracy looks it's completely different than last year. He looks lost in this offense, and unless they're going to hire his college coach from last year, then I don't really see him doing anything.
I don't think Lincoln Riley's coming to save the day.
No. Well, I think the question that I had coming out of last night, because there were so many stories of bad beats on the internet of, wow, I was up by a point, I had Baker Mayfield left, my opponent had nobody, and then I lost the game because he got me -2. I saw that from so many people last night on Twitter, and my response, and we've talked about this on the show before, I would have just not played anybody.
Right.
There's a chance that happens. There's a chance.
So that's what you're talking about. Not a bad management is think it through, don't be greedy.
Yeah.
But people are also looking at it like, hey, points down the road or a tiebreaker to get in the playoffs.
Of course, but the biggest thing is the wins and losses. And if there's any chance that you could, if you're up 7 or 8 points, then let them play and just build up your point total or whatever. If it's that close, I've seen plenty of negative points in games before. You don't expect it to ever happen. It's very, very rare, especially if it's the one guy that you need to not have negative points. It's incredibly rare. But if I'm up 1.5 points and I've only got Baker Mayfield and nobody else is playing from either team, I'm just not playing a quarterback.
But some leagues don't let you do that. Like CBS, you have to start a quarterback.
Really?
Because I remember John Fromey, who filled in for me a couple of weeks ago, he had Geno Smith as his quarterback.
Yeah.
He was up 4 points. and all he had was Geno Smith, and he threw 6 interceptions and
Well,
lost that game.
yeah, and that-
it was the best worst beat I've ever seen in my life.
In that case, I would pick up the team's third quarterback and put him in. Seriously,
Right.
seriously, that's what I would do. I
Now,
mean,
here's a running back situation. These guys are all on a bye. Marlon Mack, Josh Jacobs, David Montgomery, Tariq Cohen, Frank Gore, Singletary for the Bills. He's hurt. One question on the drop or keeper cut. Wayne Gallman, what do you do with him? You're in this weird zone where we don't know if Barkley's back, but now Gallman's dinged up.
Yeah, well, I have Saquon Barkley. I missed Wayne Gallman because I was 0.3 of a point lower than the other guy, so I didn't get him, and of course he did great that last week. Look, I don't see any value in Wayne Gallman right now. I mean, Barkley's he's not coming back this week probably, but he's coming back next week. I mean, there's other options that you can get besides him. I actually I went on Edmonds. Is that who it was for Arizona?
Chase Edmonds.
Yeah, I took a flyer on him for whatever reason. I don't know why. And God,
Well, I did it 2 weeks ago because, as soon as I saw the wrist was an issue, and now you got the back, I just don't think David Johnson's going to make it through the season.
Me neither. And I think he could be a league winner if, gosh, he goes down. So
Potential pickups include Edmonds, as you mentioned, John Hilliman, which is sort of an amazing story, with the Giants, Ito Smith, Jamal Williams.
yeah,
I know a lot of people are very high on Madison,
very high.
Tony Pollard, and I like Gus Edwards. You know that.
Hmm.
I think he's going to have some value at some point. I don't know if Ingram is a guy who's going to be good for 22 carries a game the rest of the season.
they've just got so many other guys. Like it's almost like San Francisco, where I don't know. I love all those running backs, and I love the scheme. And if you were going to tell me one of those guys is going to get the bulk of the carries, then I'm in. But you're not going to get many games like yesterday where you get 200-yard rushers.
Right.
So there's just too many mouths to feed. Just like in Baltimore, like I don't know what they'll do.
Yeah.
What about Demarcus Robinson at wide receiver? Had his great game. Now what? Now every week it's like a freaking new weapon steps up at receiver for Mahomes.
That's the problem. Like I don't know who it's going to be.
And Tyreek Hill's back soon.
Yeah, I think you cut him. I honestly, when Tyreek Hill comes back, I mean, does anybody else have value if Sammy Watkins is available or is healthy? So I don't know.
I think Hardman still does.
Does he?
I mean, it's the same position as Tyreek Hill, but they're going to find some role for him to get the ball. He's too explosive.
I would agree. I mean, they're going to use him, but again, there's just so many of those guys now. There's a lot to go around. Like this week, I'm sure in the league that I'm playing, that I'm in with you might have seen. I went into Sunday night like way ahead, but somebody had Mahomes, Watkins.
Well, that was the team I played a couple weeks ago, and they lit me up. And
Right.
you guys were like, "Oh, that's great! It's great to have all these Chiefs." And then I see the next week they stink and they scored 13 points. But that's not going to happen very often.
No, but I mean, if that's the danger. Like, there's going to be weeks where you can have a bunch of Chiefs and just have a ton of points and go all over the place. But it's just few and far between of like which guy is the standout guy that week.
Dustin DeHart's with us. All right, Dustin, what's been cooking with the mortgage tune-ups and the rest of the mortgage biz at Nova Home Loans?
Well, a little bit about the real estate market. We actually hit 310 last month, which is the highest.
So what's that, median?
Yeah, median resale price. The highest we've ever been is 315,000 pre-recession. So, and honestly, I didn't think we'd hit 310, and here we are. So, all those naysayers saying we're gonna, our values are gonna start dropping or this and that. It's not happening, guys. So we're in a good, fair market. We're coming in the holiday months. It's a great time to get a good deal. So if you're out there trying to buy a house, I'd love to help you out, get you pre-approved.
And explain the mortgage tune-up.
Yeah, and the mortgage tune-up. Look at, we save people a lot of money, right? I actually heard an interesting stat today, Steve. 80% of our value, of our valley has at least 20% equity in their house right now. So, look, if you have mortgage insurance, let's get rid of it. If you bought in October of last year, we probably can drop your rate by at least a point. If you have high credit card balances, we can get rid of those. And look at we get you debt free, and we start spending that money towards your home loan. We can actually not only get you debt free, but pay off your home sooner. So, great time to get a mortgage tune-up. Great time to buy a house. Awesome times in Las Vegas right now.
I was thinking I'd like to get money out of my house and invest it in solar.
Yeah.
Is that a crazy notion?
How long are you going to stay in the house?
It's a good question. I don't have an answer for you.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to stay in a house for the foreseeable future and you're going to pay for it and not lease it, it's a good move.
So what do you think? You have to stay in the house for
10 years.
10 years. That's what I was thinking.
10 years, good investment.
All right, Dustin. 577-2600 is the number, 577-2600. Glad to have you in. We'll see you next Tuesday.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Trust Us is presented by Dustin DeHart at Nova Home Loans. Call today at 577-2600 to learn how to purchase a home with $20,000 in down payment assistance. Dial up Dustin now, 577-2600.
If you're a resident of Clark County and you're looking for the best golf experience, you need to look into Reflection Bay Golf Course at beautiful Lake Las Vegas. It's a Jack Nicklaus design course and is one of the top-rated golf courses in the country. Become a Reflection Bay annual players card holder and you will be treated like royalty with no green fees, no cart fees, and no food and beverage minimums. Learn more about the Reflection Bay annual players card golf program at reflectionbaygolf.com.
Insperity.